Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, here to give you your recap for day 2 of training camp. And before I get into the details, I always like to continue to educate during the training camp season. Every day is a little different. You don't know what the coaches have planned until you go out there and see. So we didn't have a lot of, as much action as we did have yesterday. But I'm going to break down what it is that I was able to see and think that's of noteworthy to you guys. And always, they show us live and interactive for a reason. Please, any questions or comments that you have during the show, let me know, and I'll be sure to answer them. As always, thanks for my subscribers. We're continuing to grow. Like the video if you've already subscribed, and we'll continue to do as much as we can. And hey, shout out to everybody that I've been meeting. So even though training camp is closed to the public, I've been able to meet people each day, so please take a moment to say hello if it looks like I have a second. Love to put names with faces. So let's go ahead and get into day 2 of training camp recap here in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. Practice is held kind of across the street at their current practice facility, which is under construction. And yeah, I can see why it's going to take 2 years, because you can't even begin to see what it's going to look like right now. So they're just clearing a bunch of land. But let's get into practice talk, all right? Yesterday, practice concluded with Princely Uman, oh man, I said it 20 times right before I got online. Oh man, me yelling, got after Bryce Young, seemingly making some contact, and it's time to go ahead and stop practice, educate the young guy on the rules of training camp, and especially your most important position, your quarterback, not hurting the guy. Well, Dave Canales opened up his press conference today talking about they went back, they looked at the tape, and actually, Princely tried to avoid contact with Bryce, but as Bryce moved, trying to avoid him, it still, yielded some kind of contact there where they still was a teachable moment about what to do and what not to do. But hey, he gave a shout out to Princely again today for his effort and still getting to the quarterback, obviously avoiding some contact. So hey, so far, and it's still very early, Princely, oh man, me yelling. Got to say it slowly until I can roll it off the tongue there. Has been looking pretty good in practice with the Carolina Panthers. All right, so let's also talk about the kicking competition. There's competition all over. Each day, again, depends on what happens in practice, gives me an opportunity to talk about those competitions. So right now we have a kicking competition as Eddie Pinheiro is not with the Carolina Panthers, right? Couldn't get him a deal to return. So we have 2 kickers. We have a rookie, and then we have the veteran. The rookie, Ryan Fitzgerald, he was up today. They kick on skinny goalposts during training camp. And, shout out to all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, because we're able to see, there's so many people that it takes to put on the football practice at the NFL level. It's ridiculous. So there's 2 people that roll out these skinny goalposts each time they're about to kick, and they're skinnier than the normal goalposts. But nevertheless, on the skinny goalpost today, rookie Matthew, let me make sure I get it right. Rookie Ryan Fitzgerald was 4 of 5 today. Rookie Ryan Fitzgerald was 4 of 5 today. And then the veteran, Matthew Wright, he kicked yesterday. He was 4 of 5. Now, I personally feel like he was 3 of 5. I was standing pretty darn close, and the ref was slow to give him the signal. I'm not going to make a big hoot out of that, but nevertheless, both kickers right now are 4 of 5. And Coach Canales says he doesn't know how long he's going to keep both of those guys. But here's the deal. He's going to keep them. Like back in the day when we had the several levels of cuts, you might kind of put a date on it. But right now, with the rule changes, all the guys go at once, right? So I'm sure at that point, that's when we'll have a cut from one of these guys. Don't see it happening any sooner unless, you get some injuries in some other positions and you really need to evaluate some other people. But at 90 people, we'll continue to monitor, let you know, but that's my current opinion of that as of right now. So let's go ahead and talk about, let me make sure my comments are on. I haven't seen any comments, which is really, really strange. But nevertheless, we're going to keep going through it. And I appreciate we are getting plenty of likes. So if you're watching live or recorded, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us continue to grow. And I keep saying, as independent media, we can always do whatever you guys tell me, well, I can't say whatever because that's the bigger we grow, but basically there's a lot of flexibility with my platform that what you guys want to know and hear is what I'm going to continue to go after. So the bigger we grow, the easier it is for me to get those things that you guys are asking me to do. Let's go ahead and talk about the wide receiver room, right? That's a room that's pretty crowded for this team in terms of talent. Not saying everybody's off the charts, but it's certainly looking to be one of the best crop of wide receivers as a whole that we have had in many, many years. Okay, the comments are working because we just got Bruda Mario. Brudda. How about that, Brudda? I said Bruda. It's probably Brudda. Mario, thanks for the live feedback, bro. Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate your live feedback as well and for you all to tune in. Let's go and talk about that wide receiver room, right? You got T-Mac that was drafted. So I'm going to talk about him even though it's not so much will he make the team, right? We know T-Mac is going to make the team. But we also picked up a guy called Hunter Renfrow. And Hunter has an interesting story because he actually stepped out of the league for a few years. So you always wonder, how much rust does this guy have? Does he still have the moves? You know, what happened during his time away? Well, he's looking pretty good. And then we have Jimmy Horn Jr., who played out in Colorado, was on the receiving end of Mr. Sanders, and he's been looking good. So I'm going to talk about all those guys and, as a bonus, show you some video clips of those guys so you can see why I'm thinking, man, this is exciting. Now, is that proper English? I am going to talk about the fact of giving some context. This is just day 2, all right? And a lot of this is what they call routes on air, meaning there's no defender a lot of times where there's just drills. This is not good enough to anoint someone either way of good or bad or, in the middle. But it's an opportunity to get excited about, well, I can't wait to watch this guy, what it looks like when they put on pads or when they have their first practice against the other team. I'm all over the place this afternoon, right? That's when you really see how well a guy can do. But let's go ahead and show some clips. Let's start with the guy that we know is going to make the team, but nevertheless, he's been doing some good things here in practice. Let's talk about T-Mac. So here you're going to see T-Mac running the route. You know why I chose this one? Look at that spin move that he did at the end. That was really, really nice. So I'm going to show this to you one more time, and I want you to look at the spin move that he did. Now, I'm going to say this and dissecting this, right? It's not super quick, but I like the instincts of staying in bounds, doing the move to continue to fight and go downfield. There's also some plays that happen, which I don't have video of, and let me just plug the video for the moment. If you like the video highlights that I'm showing, there's another video that I put up pretty much immediately after practice. We're the first one to get our videos up every day after practice of as much content as I'm allowed to record. I say allowed to record because I get to see everything, but I cannot record everything. Obviously, these guys don't want other teams seeing every single thing that they're doing. But T-Mac did run some routes up against J.C. Horn where it seemed like J.C. Horn got the better of it. So it's going to continue to teach him to be better as a wide receiver, and he's going to add some tricks to his bag. So I mentioned that to say the spin move isn't shown because it's light and quick, but I like that you have tools in your tool bag to get that extra yardage. So here you go, T-Mac running, catches, and looks down the line, stops, makes the spin move, and continues to go down the field. So like what I'm seeing from T-Mac so far. Haven't seen anything incredible, any like whoa highlights. It's okay though. It's just day 2, just day 2. The King, thanks for the updates. I'm in Massachusetts, and this is the only news I get. What's up with you? Thank you so much for tuning in. We do play the New England Patriots this year. Pretty sure I'll be going to that game. Last year I flew into Boston to go to that game. I think this year I'm going to fly into, I forget the other airport that's in, oh my gosh, I'm sounding so dumb on live TV today. But yeah, if you happen to be at that game and there's a chance I can say hello to you, please do so. All right, so let's continue to rock through this. Who do we got next? Who do you guys, we'll make it interactive for a split second. Do you want to see Hunter Renfro highlights next, or do you want to see Jimmy Horn Jr.? All right, whatever the first comment is, that's what I'm going for. Jimmy Horn highlights first, or Hunter Renfro? Thanks for the camp updates. Austin Wright, thank you for tuning in And if you guys that are watching haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button, subscribe. And these updates are going to occur every day after camp. Now, I will say this Saturday we're going to have a slight schedule delay with things for our coverage, but we will have coverage this Saturday. And then next week, when they resume back on Monday, we'll have our normal immediate highlights about an hour after practice. And then about 3 to 4 hours after practice, you'll see me do this recap that I'm doing right here. All right, you guys said Jimmy Horn highlights first. All right, thank you. So we're going to go to the Jimmy Horn highlights first. I only have one, but it's a good one. And I'll talk about him a little bit more as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Jimmy Horn Jr. highlights. Look at this drill that Jimmy Horn goes through. Are you checking him out? We're definitely going to have to play it more than once. All right. Let me see if I had another. Ah, man. I actually thought I did have another play of him running a route, but it wasn't nothing where I felt like you could really see his explosiveness and shiftiness. So let's look at this one more time. And so what I want to point out is look at his footwork. Hands are going crazy fast too. And he's just balanced. Look, hips just staying right in place. He's going through all that, catches the ball, and goes away. So this guy, Jimmy Horn Jr., certainly excites you for potential. But I put on Twitter when I put out this highlight already that the thing about Jimmy Horn is you got to hope that his that his hands excite you as much as his feet do. Because sometimes you'll get a guy that's really athletic but doesn't have the hands to follow that potential, doesn't have the route running skills to follow that potential. There was another play. Do not have the video of it because it's not a time that we could put that we could record it. But he was defended pretty decently. I couldn't exactly see if the ball was just not caught well by Jimmy Horn or if the defender more so made a play on the ball. But it's those are the things that separate that exciting speedster that's a rookie young guy from getting much playing time from another guy that like a Jalen Coker. And I mentioned Jalen Coker because I know a lot of people wonder, what's Jalen Coker doing? How's he looking? Is he looking bad? Because people have not been talking about him. And no, a lot of times in training camp, it's just the intent of what the coaches are trying to look at just doesn't give everybody an opportunity to shine. But has Jalen Coker been catching balls that have been thrown at him? Yes. But you can't see him do something like he's done in the game of catch a ball, run past a defender or push it stiff on a defender and continue to go down the field, right? So the same thing that you're going to have to want to see with Jimmy Horn Jr. is when it's actual live competition, does he make the catch that you need him to make as a pro? Does he hold on to the ball after he makes the catch? What does he do when somebody's being more physical with him? Right now, again, routes on air mean there's nobody sticking him. You don't get a true feel for what this guy could be like at the pro level. But Coach Dave Canales also spoke about Jimmy Horn and his ability, so I'm going to share that with you guys right now as well.
Yeah, I just love the way that he plays football. It's full speed all the time. Some guys, we have to really teach them how to get into a walkthrough mode. He's one of those guys. Everything he does is fast. I think about Devin Tompkins, who I love, who was here last year, and they just bring out the best in everybody because, when they're out there, they're going 100 miles an hour, full speed, and they're looking to take the top off. So I love that style about Jimmy and what he's shown us, whether it's in drills or in the team periods, he's just all gas.
So there you go, Coach Dave Canales talking about Jimmy Horn, all gas, no brakes, really exciting guy to watch. It's a deep room, and what they're going to be looking at for guys, he also mentioned on the secondary, feeling like they have a lot of good competition in their secondary as well, will be, can these guys contribute on special teams? Because on special teams, we're going to need you every single week. If you're a wide receiver, you're deep in the depth chart. I don't know if I'm going to get you to play that much this game, depending on what this game is showing me from their defense to our offense, how we're doing and what we believe can work and how your skill set can help give us that edge or not. So maybe he'll do special teams. We're going to wait and see, continue to very closely monitor. But again, so far I've talked about T-Mac, seeming solid. Jimmy Horn Jr., certainly exciting to watch so far. And now we're going to talk about one other guy The guy that took a break has come back and looked like maybe that break has made him even sharper. I haven't watched film on Hunter Renfro before he came a Carolina Panther, but he just definitely pops out at you when he's running his route. And I have a lot of footage that we're going to show on Hunter Renfro. So let's go ahead and cue this up. Take a look at some Hunter Renfro activity from the day. Look at this. Good gracious. Like, all right, so I'm going to pause for a second on that one. So I'm the one that's filming things right now, and I'm going to tell you I'm not a videographer full time, but it's something that I do in training camp to make sure I can get you all these highlights. He about, like if this was basketball, I feel like it would have been one of those where they just continue to go off the screen, right, if you're the defender looking at his footwork. So I'm going to rewind this one time. I'm not going to keep rewinding, but let's go ahead and watch this again from the top. Goes right, left, right, boom. He like does that lazy leg on that final move. Man, that is an awesome route by Hunter. Look at that hop skip. Man. All right, I do have to replay a lot of these because he's just so good on his route running. Look at this jump, hop, skip. All right, here we go. Man, that footwork is crazy by Hunter Renfro. Absolutely crazy. Let's watch him again on this route. Wow. Wow. All right, so I'm going to play it back one more time for you guys to watch and analyze. But again, if Jimmy Horn Jr.'s feet are in his hands, are close in terms of capabilities, that is some potential. Now, we already got T-Mac, who's solid. We got Xavier Legette, that's solid. Xavier Legette needs to show some more consistency this season than he did last season, but he certainly has shown that he has that potential. And then you got Adam Thielen, which is a proven veteran, right? Just absolute possession receiver, competitive dog kind of guy out there, someone who could teach these other guys about being a pro. Man, you got an offensive line that is returning all 5 of their linemen, which is pretty much extremely rare. And then you got the battle at center with Cade Mays and Austin Corbett. But it still will be guys that were here last year. And you got Bryce Young out there that's looking like a very, very happy, confident fella. There's reason to have some good optimism here around this Carolina Panthers team. So I'm going to run this back one more time and just look at this guy's footwork. Look, and he catches the balls. There's a video I got of him yesterday looking like a bended like Beckham kind of thing where he's just twisting to catch this ball, and he doesn't fall after he catches it. He stays balanced, turns and runs. But here we go, one more time. Run it back, Hunter Renfro. Boom, catches the rock, all completely with his hands. Look at that. Nice and relaxed, catches it with his hands. And one more, watch his footwork. Man. There you go. So, in my opinion, the outlook for this wide receiver room, this offensive squad, hadn't even got into talking about the running back room with the additions that we have there. We'll continue to watch and evaluate and get video of all those things so we could talk about them. But, yeah, that's going to be your recap for today. Now, next week, we'll probably get into our interviews. That's a tradition that we do here at Charlotte Vibe. It's each year. We make sure we interview all the draft picks. So that's something we're going to continue to do, in interviewing all the draft picks. So if you guys have questions for any of those draft picks, as always, Man of the People, Interactive, we work together. So let me know what questions you may have and for what player it is, and I'll try to see if I can't squeeze that into the interview. And again, help us continue to grow, please. If you're watching the video, supporting independent media, it's free of charge. Just hit the like button, subscribe. And if you are able to and want to monetarily support us, we do have members, which gives you some more perks and access to me as an individual. So we'd love if you would consider becoming a member. Links are in the description. Boy, if you have any problems and you're trying to become a member, just leave a message. I try to respond to all the messages and comments that I can to interact with you guys. But let me go ahead and take a moment, jump through any of these questions that we have before we get out of here. I need to wear my glasses, but let's see. Here we go. I was wondering if NFL Network is still coming through for Back Together. I don't know about that one yet. Got to see how he looks after coming back. We know if Jimmy Horn Jr. is healthy, then he's fast. So, yeah, my thing is with Jimmy Horn Jr., he's still not, we're talking about him. He's catching your eyes, but he still has to do it in a competitive, true 11-on-11 environment. He has to know the defenses. He has to know all the plays, and that's something that he doesn't know yet. And if you're running fast and you're running fast wrong, it's going to look really, really bad out there. So certainly cheering for him, but I certainly want to put some perspective on the fact that he has certainly some things to polish on and work to do. Let's see. I like this message from Carlos. If the Panthers make a playoff run, we might be on Hard Knocks. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad as I would just love to see a lot of Dave Canales content if the Carolina Panthers would be on Hard Knocks. I think you'd also get some pretty good stuff from Jimmy Horn, and certainly if we make the playoffs, that means Bryce is feeling good. And I mean, Bryce, when he's feeling good, certainly shows some different personality. So, yeah, all gas, no brakes. So with the ones on wide receivers right now, that would be, my guess would be Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen, and Tedorora McMillan. That's who I'll go with, the current ones at wide receivers. Yeah, Hunter still got it. Try Harder says Hunter Renfrow is only 29 years old, still have a good 4 years of prime left in him. Yeah, that's crazy. I got a Chris, where you been? I don't know what that one says there, so I can't answer that. Where's your partner you usually have with you? So, yeah, so each year I do have a co-host that's appears on game days. Other than that, the team consists of a photographer, which if you guys love photos from practice, head on over to our Instagram. We have the absolute best photographer in the NFL, Patrick Snyder, that does our photography. And then I also have an additional social media / cameraman person, Vance Taylor, that helps with that. So that's current staff for this year. Hopefully that answers your question. Thomas Frisbee, what's going on, man? Very good to hear from you. We're looking at bringing in an established linebacker. Right now, Roseboom is our guy, and hadn't talked about bringing in any other people. He's been doing well at it so far at that middle inside linebacker, replacing Josie Jewell. So there's no word that that's going to be happening. How's the family? How's the kids and family? Yeah, the kids and family doing really good. My son loves monster trucks, and my daughter just loves to just do something nonstop. For me, as a very practical 1 + 1 = 2 guy, my daughter just still trying to get my brain wrapped around, like, what is it that you want? Pick me up, put me down, pick me up, put me down. I want to go over here, I want to go over there. And no, if you're leaving, I want to go with you. She's definitely different, but the more kids you have, the more that you realize that none of them are the same. So, but appreciate you asking very much. As you know, I love to share about my life and my family with you guys, so I'll continue to do so. Last question before I get out here. I heard Rashad going to be your co-host. So Rashad over at Panther Nation Podcast, as well as Dave when he's in town, every home pregame show, Dave and Rashad, if they're in the city, will be on that pregame show. That's something we've been doing, I think, for 2 years now, so we're definitely going to continue to do that. And then, so hopefully that answers your question. Love collaborating with people. If you have a podcast or show that you want me to come on, just let me know, and I'll do my best to make sure I work it out for you. But I love meeting all of you. Appreciate everybody's support. Continue to do the super chats. We need it. Trying to make it to every single game this year. The only way I was able to do it last year was because of your financial support and supporting independent media. We don't have any large sponsors that writes me this $50,000 check so we can have some operations going, right? So it's all about you guys, which is why I always am taking the time to be appreciative and express that to you, because it means so much, because you are literally what makes this channel operate and function. So thank you so much for watching. Chris Jenkins reporting live from Bank of America Stadium for Charlotte Vibe.